How's it going? It's Sam Frost here, and in this video I want to do a quick comparison in terms of cost for LinkedIn advertising and Facebook advertising. So are LinkedIn ads more expensive than Facebook ads to run? So generally speaking, and this is an important thing to note for the purpose of this video, I can only speak generally. I don't know what your business is and what you're doing. I'm just speaking in terms of what I've experienced in the past with my own business and my client businesses for whom I've run advertising. Generally speaking, LinkedIn ads are more expensive than Facebook ads. Now, there's one area right off the bat where they're more expensive, and that's in terms of minimum spend. So Facebook, you can start from, I think it's $2 a day, it might be $5 a day now actually, off the top of my head. With LinkedIn, you actually have to spend a minimum of $15 a day, at least in every account I've ever worked on. Maybe in other regions of the world, there might be a lower minimum spend, but certainly when I've tried advertising on LinkedIn, and I do run quite a few LinkedIn ads, every single week, basically. I'm setting up new campaigns and tweaking old ones or existing ones. You've got that higher minimum spend. So right off the bat, if you've got a very limited budget, you might be better off with Facebook ads, provided you can reach the right audience, simply because that minimum spend is lower. Now, where that flows through to as well is that you tend to find with LinkedIn advertising that your cost per 1,000 impressions, or CPM, basically what it's costing you to get people to see your ads, and your cost per click will also generally be higher than what you pay on Facebook. Now, there's a reason for this, and that's primarily down to the fact that LinkedIn is a platform that's known as the kind of go-to place for professionals and business people and so on to kind of hang out online and share their experiences and network with each other and so on. And so basically you've got this big melting pot of people working for businesses who are identifiable on the basis of the companies they work for and company industries and job functions and titles and all those kind of things. And so that makes it a great platform to advertise on if you're trying to sell, say, a business-to-business solution. So if you've got a specific training course, for example, like a sales training course for business development managers in the military, aerospace and defense industries, you're going to struggle to find those people potentially on Facebook. There might be some niche Facebook groups or something where you could try and convince the admins to let you advertise, but reaching those people with Facebook Ads Manager is going to be more challenging. On the other hand, with LinkedIn, it's actually a pretty straightforward audience to go and target, unless you're trying to be too precise with your targeting that you can't actually get the ads to run. So what that flows through to is the fact that on LinkedIn, many more of the ads you see are for offers or for kind of business models where there's just far greater revenue potential and profit potential, and so people are willing to pay more to advertise. If I think about some of the client projects I've worked on over the last sort of 6 to 12 months, an average order might be worth anywhere from $50,000 to $500,000 to $1 million plus, depending on what is actually being sold. And so if you're selling a $1 million solution, for example, into a large business, you're going to be willing to pay more than, say, a cafe owner who's trying to sell $5 coffees and $7 muffins and those kind of things. So depending on the platform, you can see why LinkedIn ads tend to be more expensive than Facebook, primarily because LinkedIn is swayed towards business people and employees and business activity, whereas Facebook is more consumer level. People are generally going on there not so much in a professional context, but they want to, see what their friends have been up to, or, play games on Facebook, all those kind of things, catch up with old school friends. And so the sort of mindset and I guess general purpose of the platform is very different, and as such the nature of the advertising and how you target people is very different, and that just results in LinkedIn generally costing more than Facebook. So yeah, LinkedIn ads are generally more expensive than Facebook ads, especially what you tend to notice is in that cost per 1,000 impressions CPM and the cost per click or CPC side of things. Now, what's important to bear in mind is that ultimately it's profitability that counts. So it might be that you have to spend more on LinkedIn ads, but you actually generate a better return or ROI than you do with Facebook ads, in which case, yeah, okay, you're spending more upfront with your LinkedIn advertising, at least on the basis of budget, but actually you're generating more profit, greater return, in which case it's better value for money. But once again, it's hard for me to comment on that without knowing what your offer is. But let's say that you have a business that's a consumer level business. You've got a cafe or a barber shop or a general retail store or something like that. I'd almost always recommend you to go to Facebook first, because you can get started for far less money. Your cost per impression and cost per click and so on is going to generally be less. On the other hand, if you've got an offer that you need to target on the basis of kind of job activity or career development or business activity, anything like that, then you're going to want to look at LinkedIn first, because even though you pay more, you will generally get better results simply based on the specificity of the targeting. Now, for your business, once again, your mileage may vary. Without knowing what it is you're doing, I can't give too much specific detail, but in general, Facebook ads are less expensive than LinkedIn ads. LinkedIn ads are going to cost you more, from that fundamental budget level, and then in terms of what you pay to get in front of people and get them clicking. What really does matter is the actual profitability of your advertising. But if you're sitting there going, well, do I do LinkedIn ads or do I do Facebook ads? If you can go down the Facebook path, you're probably better off to do that, simply because you're going to be able to do it for less money. On the other hand, if you really do need the LinkedIn targeting, rather than saying I'll do Facebook ads because they're cheaper, you are probably better off to do LinkedIn and actually focus on getting in front of the right audience. So yeah, really the reason why LinkedIn ads are more expensive than Facebook is because of that targeting potential and the fact that you can get in front of business people more easily, or high-level professionals, and with that comes the ability to sell more valuable offers. But don't overlook the fact that there is more to advertising online than just the sort of headline price of the ads you're buying. What actually matters is what you're getting out of it. So yeah, don't be too tempted just to go for Facebook ads because they're cheaper, but equally, if you don't need that extra kind of targeting functionality that you've got on LinkedIn, you're probably better off with Facebook. So if you've got a cafe and you're just trying to reach anyone in your general area, I'd almost always recommend Facebook over LinkedIn. In fact, I can't really think of a scenario in which LinkedIn would be the better option, unless you have a cafe that's specifically only for business owners or something like that. So yeah, hopefully you find that helpful, bit of an understanding on the fact that LinkedIn ads are generally more expensive than Facebook, and also the reasons why. If you need any specific help for your own situation, please do let me know. You can leave a comment, you can email me on info@samfrost.co.nz. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more free digital marketing advice. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.